Hey everybody, Scott here. Hey, I just noticed Nikon has updated the Nikon ZF firmware to 2.01. This is the first firmware update since we've gotten the Imaging Cloud feature set update in 2.0. And one of the 2.0 features was that we are supposed to be able to update our camera firmware directly from the camera now over Wi-Fi. We don't have to put the firmware on our SD cards. We don't have to connect our camera to our Snapbridge app on our cell phone anymore. As long as Imaging Cloud is set up, we should just be able to download this new firmware directly from the camera. So I wanted to test that. So I stuck my Z9 behind the ZF. I filmed the whole process as I was seeing things for the first time. It was super easy. So I'm going to show you what that process looks like. You can do this on yours. And if you haven't set up Imaging Cloud yet, it's only supported on a few cameras right now. But if you haven't set that up yet, I have a very in-depth video on how to set it up. It goes step by step. Somewhere up here, there'll be a link for that. Just look for that. It'll also be the recommended video I'm going to set at the end of this video if you can't find it. So just watch to the end. It'll be on the little in splash screen. So here's what I was seeing in real time. I'll speed up some of the portions like when the firmware is actually updating. But it's very simple to go through once you've got Imaging Cloud set up. And I had a new firmware on my camera in like 5 minutes. It's great. Let's walk through it. So anywhere on your camera, just press menu. And once you get into the menu, we want to go over to the networking tab on the left side, which is the globe. If you have airplane mode turned on, you need to turn that off because it won't connect to Imaging Cloud otherwise. So what I do is I just leave Imaging Cloud turned on all the time, but I use airplane mode to toggle, back and forth of it actually connecting or not. So it's connecting. We get the splash screen at the bottom. It says checking for updates. This is where it goes and looks for new recipes that you may have added, and it's checking for new firmware. And because it found new firmware, you can actually see it puts a yellow dot over the wrench icon on the left-hand column. Now, it's actually done checking, and I didn't know that at the time. I kind of figured this bottom splash screen would go away when it was completely done. But when I noticed that the wrench had the yellow dot, I figured, oh, it actually is probably done updating, and it's actually found the new firmware. And it's basically, this is calling me out that, hey, there's a menu item under this group that has something new from Imaging Cloud. So we come over to the wrench, and I didn't know where it was. And so I'm going through this list, looking for a yellow dot next to something. Not seeing it. Then I realize, oh, it's probably the firmware, which is at the bottom. Keep coming down, and we can see that yellow dot the far right side. And so I actually hit update from Nikon Imaging Cloud. It told me that it was going to take it from 200 to 201. And then the process just starts. This is it downloading the firmware from the internet to the camera. That was pretty quick. And now is the lengthy process of the actual firmware updating. This process is no different than if we've loaded it from Snapbridge or we've loaded it from an SD card. This is the part that it's actually updating your camera, and it'll prompt you to turn the camera off when you're done. So we'll fast forward here. And at this point, we just turn the camera off to complete the firmware update. I'm going to turn the camera back on. I'm going to jump back into menu. Takes me right back to firmware version. And now you can see the firmware version is 2.01, and we are done. Well, if you were looking for an example, a walkthrough of what this new process looks like, hopefully that was straightforward, easy to understand. Again, I've got a link coming up in just a second that will get your camera connected into Imaging Cloud if it's a supported model. You can go over there, take care of that, maybe come back to this video and get your camera firmware updated. Hopefully this helped you guys out. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Give this a like if you like the content. Consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.